This is a Thor News presentation.
Thor News presents Moby Dick Asteroid 2000 EM26 is missing. Help professional astronomers find it. This is your basic classic story of the asteroid that was, not was, is missing. Gone. Vanished. Apparently they found it in 2000. It's supposed to pass by again, and they did a whole hubbubby show on it. Even Slew was watching, and nobody could find it. But hey, that didn't keep CNN from saying we found it. It passed us, and then showing a photograph of an asteroid, which would leave the common viewer to believe that, like, hey, yeah, that asteroid passed us. Or that's the actual asteroid itself. CNN is going out of its way to totally deceive you. Does that surprise you? I didn't think so. Doesn't surprise me either. Ted Turner's probably rolling in over in his grave. Wait, is Ted Turner still alive? No disrespect, Ted. Okay. So yeah, big question mark. Like, where the hell did it go? And then some people are saying, like, oh yeah, we got its orbital wrong, kinda. Or some people are saying, well, the orbital must have been wrong. It's like, well, if the orbital was wrong, how do you know it passed us? How do you know where it went? How do you know where it's going? How do you know it didn't get the cloak of invisibility from Harry Potter? If it did, let's just hope and pray it doesn't get the invincible wand. And crap, what's the third thing? Oh yeah, the mirror, I guess. 2000 EM26 predicted brightness at the time was around magnitude 15.4. Not bright enough, but well within range of the telescope. Rather than throwing their hands up in the air, the folks at SLU are calling upon amateur astronomers again make a photographic search for the errant space rock in the next few nights. Okay, great. Or whatever. The hell is that? Eggs? So you got huevos, a woman covering her face, a woman smiling, and then a woman covering her face again. Why are so many women covering their face? Are they scared of eggs? They ain't even looking at the eggs, man. Okay, I'll get back on subject. Since the asteroid was last observed 14 years ago, for only 9 days, it isn't too surprising that uncertainties in its position could add up over time. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. What would be surprising, though, certain people would admit they made a mistake. It isn't too surprising that uncertainties in its position could add up over time, shifting the asteroid's position and path to a different part of the sky by 2014. Discovering these near-Earth objects isn't enough. As we've seen with 2000 EM26, all the effort that went into its discovery is worthless unless follow-up observations are made to accurately determine their orbits for the future. And that's exactly what SLU members are doing, using the robotic telescopes at our world-class observatory site to accurately measure the precise positions of these asteroids and comets. Well, good job, SLU. I, for one, am a fan. Never actually watched the show, but I hear a lot of people say you guys are great. If a determined modern-day Ahab doesn't find this asteroidal Moby Dick, one of the large-scale robotic telescope surveys probably will. Then they probably won't tell us about it. Alright, cool. It don't matter. Did you know similar sized asteroids, including ones passing even closer to Earth, zip by every month? Which reminds me, tons of people were talking about this thing before it even started. Like it was all over the news, like, oh my god, an asteroid is going to pass by close to Earth. And it wasn't even the closest or largest asteroid to have passed by in months that size. So while all the news were reporting about it before it happened, I didn't know. That was confusing. It was almost like the setup to it disappearing. So hey, thanks for that weird intuition, MSM. You guys are on the ball. You don't say that too often now, do people? You don't hear people say that too often now, do you? So enjoy it while you can. The object has been nicknamed Moby Dick after the infamous white whale in the story by author Herman Melville. Wait, I thought it was illegal to nickname comets and asteroids if you weren't a professional. I did it once, and people started crying out their butt, man. Like, nobody's got a sense of humor anymore. That's why I strive to carry mine strong like armor. Hell yeah! Let's go. Where are we going? Beerland. The most likely explanation at present is that the asteroid's trajectory is far different to that predicted by astronomers, and everyone has simply been looking for it in the wrong place. Well, no, duh. They made a mistake. Same sentence, a lot shorter. It's what I call Hemingwaying things. Hey, man, and then I looked down, and in the comments, someone wrote, wow, like maybe a giant flying space duck. LOL. That means laugh out loud, though you don't have to actually laugh out loud to type that. You gotta be a fan of Thor News to get that one, I guess. LOL. Here you go. Well, hey, thanks, Architect. I am a big fan of Thor News because I am Thor of Thor News. Glad I'm not the only one. Keep on keeping on. Well, that concerns me. It's the opposite scenario. If the official explanation is true and they miscalculated the trajectory, what happens with another headed directly towards us and estimated instead to pass far away? What? Is that sentence good? That's a serious problem, since even a huge object like that can arrive unseen at our backyard. That's what she said. If it's not very reflective, she didn't add that part, man. That would make it weird. Okay, we out of time. I think most of us agree that unless professional science is totally lying to us about everything we know about outer space, we should be increasing our budget. But no, our budget is getting like cut in half. And then that half is getting cut in 4 pieces. And then those 4 pieces are being sold in mortgage-backed securities, which doesn't even make any sense. But A, it's Saturday night and B, it's government. So what do you expect, man? So yeah, science is making mistakes, losing asteroids. No big deal. That huge Earth-skimming asteroid, we lost it. Well, that's sensational. An asteroid roughly the size of 3 football pitches. Man, I think you got your terminology totally wrong, because you pitch in baseball. Wow, man. Hey, it was close enough to earn it the classification near Earth object. But it's all relative. It's not dangerous. They just can't find it. It passes by. How do you know? If you never saw it, couldn't find it, how do you know it passed us? I mean, obviously that's probably the logical conclusion, but I wouldn't say definitely. But they'll probably say something like, it passes by approximately. They like to use the word approximately. Really, they do. Like, when was the solar system formed? And they'll be like, approximately 5 billion years ago. And I would say, you said that yesterday, man. So shouldn't it be approximately 5 billion years ago plus 1 day? If not, don't use approximately. Part of the problem is the relative dimness of 2000 EM26 with its lack of reflectiveness, making it hard to differentiate from brighter objects in the night sky. Except it wasn't that dark when they found it the first time, so that excuse doesn't really wash my jeans. Now, put your pantyhose back on. Let's get to this. No, that was not an Amy Mainzer joke. I stopped joking with her ever since she threatened to kill me. Well, not her specifically, just, the ninja assassins that are employed by NASA. But hey, you know what? What the missing asteroid highlights is how tricky it is to not only identify near-Earth objects, but to keep track of them over time. Something NASA and others have warned of on several occasions. But our government is too busy fighting drugs, homelessness, anti-invasions, climate change, pipelines, stock markets, economies, and shit to worry about asteroids, man. But hey, don't doubt them. They know what they're doing. Their government. Hey, according to American Space Agency, that could easily happen again, particularly as budget cutbacks undermine how much stargazing can be done. NASA has thrown things open to the private sector in the shape of the Asteroid Grand Challenge, which I tried to get behind, but then NASA was like, F you, buddy. And then Amy Mainzer was like, aren't you dead yet? I'm like, fuck, you guys don't like a lot of help, do you? Man, you gotta learn to work as a team. You do, if we're gonna get anything done, people. A big asteroid just flew by, and guess what? More are coming. A, that's gross. B, that's sensational. D, that just skips C. Oh, an asteroid that's about the size of 3 football fields flew past Earth on Monday, coming within 2.1 million miles. That was near enough to generate headlines such as this from Reuters. Earth marks close encounter with enormous asteroid. Wasn't even that big, bro. Perhaps because 2000 EM26 arrived so close to the 1-year anniversary of what happened in Russia last February, the Chelyabinsk thingy, when hundreds of people were injured as a meteorite exploded in the sky. May have got more attention than it might have otherwise. But as a blogger known as Astro Bob points out, that a week ago, on February 10th, the larger asteroid 2006 DP14 made an even closer shave at 6.2 lunar distances, and yet 2014 BR57 will pass closer yet at 4.4 times the moon's distance on Thursday. See, Astro Bob is just saying what I said, but probably a little more technical and with facts. But hey, you know what? If you want to mark your calendar, if you want to mark your calendar for asteroid arrivals, by the way, NASA's Near-Earth Object Program has a schedule here. Pump it up, homeboy. I'll put it in the links, man. Pump it up, homeboy. Just don't stop. Asteroid Grand Challenge. I'm going to pump up asteroid knowledge. I'm going to pump up asteroid awareness. And we're going to save the day.